starts in Lagos. What next for INEC? Looking at some of the reports we are getting that a lot of people came out yesterday in Lagos and there were no officials of the INEC found at the distribution centers. Well, Victor Hine, a public affairs analyst, is still in the house and we are discussing it. The phone line is open now. You can call in to make your contribution. Thank you for being there, Victor. Let's take a look at this. You saw, as at yesterday, the Lagos State government declare a public holiday for the exercise as at yesterday. And I think another one might be declared come November 27 to 28 and all that. Don't you think this has economic impact in the state economy?
Well, first of all, who is the public holiday for? It's the public holiday is for what you call it now, Lagos State government officials. It does not affect banks. I was in a bank yesterday.
All right.
It doesn't affect the people in the market and all that. It just means Lagos State staff, who are also important in the economy and to the economy as well, should go home and make sure they get registered. I don't see too much implication. Many schools were on midterm, so it just tallied in many of the primary schools, at least where my kids go to, and all that, they were on midterm break. So it was a day. You can't say it doesn't have. It does have some, but not is insignificant because it wasn't for the wider public. It didn't shut down the economy. It was just government business, that's all.
APC has said it will be a waste of fun again to declare, looking at how poor
nobody asked them to declare
nature
nobody asked them to declare a public holiday.
Poor nature
nobody
exercise.
asked them to declare a public holiday. It's their choice. So if you think it will be a waste, then don't declare it.
But don't you think it's just to ensure that everybody collects their permanent voter cards in Lagos, both the PDP and APC, don't you think that there should be a public holiday?
Not necessarily, no. You can take time out from office to do it and come back and continue your work. I don't see any reason for shutting down government business because you want to do that. You can make it a loose day. People can come to work, but see, listen, you can go, or, two people can go from an office, come back, the other ones go. Others will go over the weekend, the Saturday, the Sunday. For me, this is just trying to make a show out of it. It's not necessary. Maybe if it was another government now, they would condemn and say, oh, you are shutting down because, but, I didn't think it was necessary. It's important to encourage people to go, but you didn't have to shut down government business. It wasn't necessary. And so if you say you're going to shut down next week, that's your problem. It's not, you don't have to do it. You're not obliged to do it. If you choose to do it, you don't need to complain.
A lot have said INEC it's a handbag to the ruling party, PDP. What is your opinion about this?
Well, has it not been said that the state electoral commissions are also handbags of the various state governments? So who is throwing the stone? We tend to say, I see INEC as much more independent than the state electoral commissions.
Okay.
They are much more independent than the state electoral commissions. People, it's like sour grapes. When you win, you say INEC has done very well. You notice that. Look at what happens in the various elections. When a party wins in a state, they say it was free and fair. Then the losing party will cry foul. So I think we should be spared some of this. These are politicians just crying like spoiled babies, spoiled children. And we should ignore them when they talk because most times you don't take them serious. At the federal level, I think they're more serious. At the state level, I have my reservations.
But do you think, you talk about state level and...
State independent, quote-unquote independent electoral commissions, that's what I mean.
Okay, state independent.
Yes,
but do you think we should...
At the state level.
Okay, do you think, how do you reconcile the two? Do you think we should have the one you say, quote, the state independent?
I think we should have only one electoral commission.
Okay.
We shouldn't be having state electoral commissions. We should have one central electoral commission. That's my take on it.
So how do you oversee the state or the activities of the state or what the electoral process in the state if you have one center?
But isn't INEC in this state, for instance, and they're conducting elections at what do you call it now? For your House of Assembly, House of Reps, don't you have INEC on ground?
No, you said there should be one central. One central.
One center for the entire country. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
yes.
One central. Maybe you need to break it down. How do you mean?
One electoral commission with branches at the various state levels, local government levels, and all. That's what I mean.
Is that not what you have here now?
No. For local government elections, you have a different one.
Okay.
The state electoral, quote-unquote, independent electoral commission that always give 100% to the ruling party in the state. You know, so that's the situation.
So, and you think that that is not necessary?
No, it's not necessary. It's a waste of money, an unnecessary duplication of manpower and resources.
Okay, let's quickly pick up this call. Rotimi, hello. Rotimi, good morning. Hello, Rotimi. Hello? Hello? Well, I guess you need to call back again. Rotimi trying to call there. Please try and call back. And when you call, please do turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you properly. So you were talking about, you know, the one who supervise the local government election, and we should have. Okay, let me ask this question. What should be, if looking at what you have outside this country, how should a perfect electoral process, what does it look like?
Let me start by talking about Ghana, for instance. You don't need to go too far.
Okay.
Something I heard from someone who acted as an observer there, and so I'm reporting, this is the secondary information now, that they all agreed, you know, on, I mean that, you know, all parties agreed, for instance, that like in this process of registration, the number of people that are registered and the number of people that will vote, for instance. And so there is no need crying or complaining. If these are the number of people that are registered, fine, that number vote. Let all parties come together, agree on certain things, and don't change it along the line. Let us agree that we will trust this umpire. Let us agree that we will support this umpire. Let us agree on an electoral process. You understand what I'm saying? Not a situation where when I'm in control, I say, okay, you know, it's okay. And if I'm in the opposition, I say, no, it's not okay. But if I'm in the opposition and I win, then I say, suddenly everything becomes perfect and all that. A perfect electoral system would involve citizens. It will involve the politicians and the political parties. It will involve the electoral umpire and the government that is responsible for providing, you know, the enabling environment, security, and all of that. So we need all hands to be on deck, not an us and them type of situation as we find now, where it's like, oh, okay, you know, that's what they're doing. They're trying to manipulate and all that. We don't need that. We should outgrow that and bring all hands together and see how we can agree that there will be no violence. We can agree that we will abide by whatever the results are. We will agree that at a certain time, voting will start. At a certain time, voting must end. We will agree. You know, once we reach, if we go on like, if we do that, it will be fine. The Ghanaians decided to agree.
Okay.
And it's working for them.
All right.
Here, we never seem to agree.
Based on what the picture you painted, you just painted. So why don't we agree? Why don't we have political parties coming out?
There are so many things that divide us, which should not be. Tribe, which exists in Ghana as well. Religion, which also exists in Ghana. But we have taken these things to the top. We have elevated them above the things that are important. We are majoring on the minor.
Okay.
You know, we should concentrate on those things that bind us, not the things that separate us. Unfortunately, the politicians here use that to divide and rule us. unfortunately.
But you see 2015 general election, you know, and I'm sure that will be the fourth civilian government will be having, I guess, or third or so. After Obasanjo, we'll have Yaradua, and then Jonathan now. And then in 2015, probably, if anybody can come up, we don't know who is going to win yet. Now, what do you see happening now within the political? If you because if
We
you
don't
say
even have any. We
because
don't even have any candidates yet.
because if you
It's
say
none of the primaries.
there is no agreement between APC, and PDP coming together to agree on how we should conduct this
A
election.
point of correction: they are not the only two parties.
I know because why? Yeah, I know
There are other parties.
there are
as well.
other parties.
So let's also show respect.
Yes, there are other parties.
Yes,
But
I know other parties.
these are the major parties,
Gladiators.
the gladiators
Yeah.
that are in the race
Yes.
now. Of course, you have Labour Party, they are called, and all of that. But these are some of these two, really, the APC and the PDP are at the forefront. So, what do you make of the fact that you say they don't agree and they don't want to come together? So, looking at 2015. Don't you think that we could have, a similar picture you painted earlier, that there could be violence, there could be, threats to lives, property, and all of that?
There's something people condemn that I've been uploading. You know, the president said nobody's life is worth. Nobody is worth dying for any politician. You know, that it's not worth it for any life to be lost because of any politician. Ondo, there was heavy military presence, not one person died. Ekiti, because of military presence, at least during the election, not one person died. Oshun, during the election, not one person died. If you compare with elections where you didn't have that military presence, our politicians behave like animals, unfortunately. They employ thugs, you know, and you see assassinations and things like that. I'm hoping that the same thing will happen this time. You might say we might spread them thin. You might say, what about the insurgency in the north? Will they be able to have enough? But I hope there's enough presence, security presence, that's what I emphasize, it doesn't matter what, to ensure that people can go and vote without fear of intimidation, without any harassment, without any violence, without anybody hijacking the system and causing serious mayhem or problem, you know, in the electoral, you know, during the electioneering process. Yes. So to that extent, I think if the same formula is applied, there may not be any violence.
So whose duty it is, whose sole or responsibility it is to ensure that there is, a hitch-free, event leading to 2015 election? Is it the duty of INEC alone?
No, INEC has partners.
Okay.
And the partners include you and I as well. The security forces are partners. You know, you see when you see an election, it's not just an election. Security forces are involved. You look at, because of logistics, you would need, you're looking at movement, transportation.
All right.
You have partners in that area. You have partners, there are various sectors, there are election monitors and observers, and all of that. So I think all hands must be on deck. But principally, it is the duty of the federal government to secure my life and my property as well as yours, at all times. And I think the same will apply, or should apply, during the elections.
Well, APC, I know that INEC has admitted a 1 day extra. They actually want to extend it by 1 day so that everybody can be involved. But the APC really is really coming out hard on them, and they are saying, no, we think that there should be postponement and some cancellation and all of that looking at the the process between yesterday, today, and of course the other local government? Do you think there should be postponement? Because I read in the paper where it was the chairman of the APC, Henry Ajomale, was saying that there should be cancellation in some of this process.
I think INEC should remain focused and not be distracted. There are too many...
Is that your advice for
Yes,
INEC?
they should remain focused and not be distracted.
Okay.
We have lost very important public officers in this country because people started crying and condemning them even when there was nothing to condemn, because it has become a habit to just throw stones and condemn anything that does not belong to you, just destroy, and it's not peculiar to one party. Almost all the parties are guilty. INEC should remain focused, do what is in the best interest of the country. They are the ones that understand the challenges they have. They are the ones that know what is on ground. They're the ones that will take the flakes or the praises for doing a good job, or if the job turns out badly. And so they should remain focused and just ignore, any side comments and all that. Because in the end, they'll be judged by the success or otherwise, not by the side talks of people who are shouting here and there, say, I know this and that. They should remain focused and just ignore. When I say ignore, don't ignore feedbacks. The feedbacks are important, but you should learn to separate the wheat from the chaff in terms of feedback. Negative feedback in terms of, just noise making, ignore. But positive feedbacks, that when I say positive feedbacks that will make for positive change, that will improve the process, they should listen to and take serious.
Looking at election in 2015, beyond even 2015, what do you see what INEC is doing, and of course our entire electioneering process?
2015, again, I'm positive. I think it will turn out well. I see INEC, with every election we have seen, they've been improving. I see them,
because a lot of people have cried for a perfect electioneering process.
Perfection will only come through time. You can't get it overnight.
So even if you are looking at 2015 and you say, okay, it's going to be free, beyond 2015...
I said freer, note my language. Freer doesn't mean completely free. It just means freer than before.
Okay.
Fairer than before. I'm not making a mistake in my choice of language.
Let's quickly pick up this call. Hello, Moses. Hello, Moses. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Moses. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Good morning, presenter.
Good morning.
My name is Moses, as I said earlier. I'm calling from Ikotu, Lagos. I want to contribute to what you are discussing this morning as regards the distribution of the permanent voters card. My view is I want INEC to always show good examples, because they have given Nigeria a reason for doubt. That is the reason why you see anytime issues like this come up, you will see that people will begin to doubt, begin to criticize, because in some electoral processes before, they've not really done well, because they've already created in Nigerians that things like this will at the end result to a kind of, you see all manner of things taking place in the election as far as the voters card is concerned, because you will begin to see things miss, and Nigerians are not happy about it. But as far as I'm concerned, in this particular one, they come up this time, because this election coming, it is very, very important for the common Nigerians, because things are going wrong in all the local government and all the states in this country. So please, we should try our possible best, that the INEC should try our possible best to create good impression.
All right, thank you, Moses, for making your contribution. He's talking about INEC should try his possible best to make a good impression.
Well, he said something there which is, which we should take note of, that the skepticism is born out of previous experiences. And it's not just INEC, it's from where we're coming from. All the days of, from FEDECO, NADECO, at least in recent times after the military. FEDECO, NADECO, NEC, and now INEC. We have seen situations where we have had reasons to doubt them in the past, and so you will not blame Nigerians for being skeptical sometimes and expecting too much. You know, so I understand where he's coming from, and he has just advised that they should do better, and I think they should give us more reason to
Let's
trust.
also take this call. Hello, Adeni. Good morning. Go ahead with your contribution. Hello, Adeni. Hello?
Please, good morning.
Okay, Adebi.
Good morning to you. I'd like to contribute to your program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, there should be a sign, signal. Maybe there's going to be a light within your studio. While there's a call, you need to let that signal show the caller that you go ahead for not wasting his own time and your own time. That is one. Please, 2015 is not going to be a problem, except PDP government at the central level can control Boko Haram. I believe there will be no problem at all. Tell PDP government at the central to go and control North. Let there be peace around that place. Without that, I believe there will be a problem. But as for other areas in Nigeria, there will be no problem, no killing, no one single death will be recorded. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess he's concerned about the security situation in the Northeast, looking at how crucial 2015 is.
Yeah.
Now, you were making a comment on the first caller, and I'm sure you also have something to say on this last caller.
One, yes. So I think based on the skepticism based on past experience, but and so based on that is advice I like to do to earn the confidence of Nigerians, and that is in order. And concerning security in the situation in the Northeast, now that Badi, the chief of the Army or Defense Staff, I don't even know, since now that this thing has, the insurgents have entered not just his backyard but his kitchen in his village, I'm hoping that he will take it more seriously, because it's a big embarrassment on his person. Although he tried to laugh it off and say, well, it means nobody is immune. But I think it is a failing if, you know, he cannot, yeah. So I think if once we see, I hope he is challenged to go and do something finally about it.
Okay, let's quickly pick up this call. Hello, Nasser. Hello, Nasser. Good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello, good morning. For being on the show again, please. And I want to make my contributions.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's high time we should be holding our institutions and our leaders responsible. If INEC should fail in Lagos, a big state like that, I think something is fundamentally wrong. We here in Kaduna, we only had a rumor at about 2 p.m. yesterday that the collection of PVC has been postponed to maybe 27 or 28. I don't even know, because it's a mere rumor. Please, definitely this is counting, is giving us a very wrong perception, as the other caller said. Let's start getting things right. Let us have confidence. Institutions build confidence in us that yes, they are ready and ever ready. If other countries can get it right, why can't we get it right? Please, this is just my own contribution. May God help us all.
Okay, thank you very much, Nasser, for calling there. I think he's also talking about impression, perception.
He spoke very well, and perception is everything, quite frankly. They should get it right. You know, it doesn't make sense. You can't keep giving excuses all the time. You know, you can't keep giving excuses all the time. And I think also information is very, very important. Where there are challenges, explain. Tell us what the challenges are. If there's a shortage of materials, let us know. Why have you decided to do? Don't let people shout first like the Lagos State governor did before he started explaining that, okay, we're taking care of it. You should come ahead and say, okay, we have X number of cards ready.
Okay.
But it will not be enough to go around. We want to make sure that we take it in batches. We'll finish this number of local governments first, then we'll come to so. Not say we are doing it on so. You should bring information ahead of time. Let people know so that people who have other things elsewhere can. I mean, for instance, I traveled recently and I had to rush back because I wanted to make sure that I partook of this exercise. Right now, although I couldn't go to check in my area yesterday. But if I'm not told it's 27, then I feel bad because I cut short a trip because of this. You know, only to be told that, you know, if I have information, I'll act better. We have a caller on the line.
Hello? Ade Pegba. Go ahead. Good morning. Hello?
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem is very interesting. The problem in Nigeria.
I can hear you.
Nobody is aware.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
The problem we are facing now is that when one is speaking, it's supposed to be brought to book, and nothing happens in that way. But what happened now, the experience we are having with all these speakers and the forming of that is that the initial problem with PDP, it has to be solved. That is why people are fighting. And now, when President is fighting for another continuity, nobody is against it. APC is not against it. But the people surrounding, they have to harmonize their hope and see that what we have on the ground is harmonized. Not because when you finish harmonizing, you don't have a job. People 3 years, 7 years, no job. In those days, when we are small, in 70s, in the day you take primary or in this teacher training, you will be looked at. And when Obasanjo was there in 1970, when I was in Osogbo, they came to us and then they recruited us to their engineering session. And these things are not there again. State government, all these abandoned companies, they have to revive it. Like I don't hear as I'm speaking. You can only see someone, you cannot see companies at home. You cannot see it. They only say continuity in that form. You cannot continue to deceive. And that's all. When you say you want to just 10 kilometers, 5 million, don't put it again, but just do it. That's the sense of democracy. But you are not enjoying it. That's all. You can't go to Nigeria and but once you get appointment now, your certificate is finished. And that's the end of the year. So you are not enjoying it. You can't go from that way. It's coming up with something. Why other people? Why in general?
Yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello, Adepeba. I think you also want to comment on the distribution of permanent voters exercise as well. Oh, all right. I guess we lost him there. But I think it's probably talking on what he feels or what he's feeling at the moment, diverting from what is on ground. Anyway, but do you think, Victor, do you think we can move from this level, looking at what the other caller said earlier, how we have website dedicated to registration and all of that in other countries? Do you think we can get past where we are now, doing things at the manual level?
I don't see why not. I think is what we've been improving incrementally, so to say. You've got to master one level to move to the next, take the experiences from that and build on it and move to the next level. And that is basically what we're doing. As it is, we have things that are peculiar to us.
Okay.
You have to look at the literacy level of your population. You've got to look at the migratory practices and trends of your people. You've got to look at the cultural practices of your people, and so many others. Even their technological challenges.
Okay, let's quickly pick up this call. Chile. Hello, Chile, good morning. Hello, Chile. Hello, Chile, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, go. Contribution.
I want to contribute my own quota to the discussion.
Yeah, go ahead.
There will not be a problem during the election because INEC is not the problem. The voters are not the problem. The problem are the politicians. If the politicians can stop making inciting comments like, we will sweep you out. Voters should, when they vote, they should stay there and defend their votes. We will make sure that the election, nobody will take the result must be, in Nigeria, nobody lost election. Everybody is always a winner. But the problem is the politicians. If they can only talk on issues and leave personality, if you want to vote out PDP, it will not be in the pages of newspaper or in television. Tell the masses what you want to do and what you are going to do. And then during the election, keep quiet and allow the people to vote. They will vote and there will not be any trouble. I assure you that Nigerians are matured enough to cast their vote peacefully without problems. So let the politicians be mindful of the comments they make. We are all here in Nigeria. We used to listen to other countries when they are making. Okay, look, America has just contested, has done their own election, their midterm election. There was no problem. Position one, there was no problem. You see it. So let the politicians mind their statement. Let them mind their statement. Even if this security we talked about. Now, like, nobody will say that the government don't want to do anything in Northeast, just like the commentator there says. Now that Bade's own hometown is under siege, I think, like the man there said, I think he will be up and doing now. He will do everything within his power to see that security is well taken care of.
Thank you, Chile, for making your contribution. We have to let you go now. We're running out of time. From all of these we have discussed today, and of course, looking at the exercise that just started, what next do you think should be for the INEC? Looking at solving all of these challenges.
Yeah, INEC should stop giving excuses. They should put their house in order. Before fixing this, they should have anticipated what challenges there will be and find a way to checkmate them. How long will it take, for instance, to print the permanent voter's card? How do you distribute them? What are the logistical challenges that may be involved? Finance that you require to do this? How many men do you need on ground and all of that? They should have thought about all this. We can't keep giving excuses on their behalf, you know, and it's not very good for its image if every time there's a complaint to another. I mean, it can't be perfect. There will usually be challenges and all that, but it is important to get some of these things right, because every time, no matter how hard you try, if people keep complaining and complaining, then it just adds up to the totality of how you're perceived, you know. But going forward, like I said, they should remain focused, and they should do the needful in the best interest of the country, not of any political party, not of any government or of any individual.
Okay. Thank you very much, Victor High, for coming on the show once again. Well, we have to round up here, and that's what you can take today on the show, weekend edition of the program called Digest. Moses, you called from Ikotun. We want to thank you. And Nasru will call from Kaduna, and Adi Bekpa and Chile will also call from Port Harcourt. Thank you for calling. Well, I am Franco Malape. Up next is News on the Hour. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife and Moten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.